Hi guys, and welcome to another video from the Cloud Surfer channel. I'm Henrik and we are stood here on the ground in Manchester live on VATSIM. And in today's video I thought I would share with you my personal wish list for my flight sim, which is X-Plane 11, and I mostly fly VR. I know that a lot of you probably have your own mental wish list of things you would love to see come to X-Plane or change. Now this is out of the box wish list. I know that a lot of this here is most likely not possible. If it were possible, it would kill the FPS and it would be completely off track of what Laminar Research are trying to do with X-Plane. So this here is just my dreamy-eyed wish list for the sim and stuff that I would love to see in the sim. And I know you all have your wishes, and you all have that wish list, and I hope that you would share your ideas or wishes in the comment section below, because I would love to see them. So in no particular order, I have my wish list hanging beneath the camera in front of me, just so I have some sort of reference, because there are a lot of wishes, but they are not in any particular order. So the first thing I would love to see X-Plane are moving people. Now I do know it has something to do with not X-Plane doesn't have moving bones and stuff like that. I don't know what they call it. It's a sort of code, and they do have it in P3D. You have these people walking out of the bus and boarding the aircraft and what have you not. Now, I think that would be awesome to see on the apron and airports, people walking around, maybe ground personnel, having a pushback guy walking beside the aircraft with the headset, or having passengers board the aircraft. If let's say I have a flight with 121 passengers, I would love to see 121 people come off the bus or on the jet bridge, walk onto the aircraft. It would be awesome. Even if, imagine if they could walk into the cabin and sit down, or if in flight, if you open the door, you could see the cabin crew walking around with the trolley. That would be so awesome. So that's my wish number one, and I know it's not likely to come true because it has absolutely nothing to do with flying, which is what it's all about in flight sim. But I'm a geek, and that's why I have the ground handling plug-in. It's just visuals, right? But still, I'm sort of geeky with that stuff, and I know some of you are as well. I know you're there. So the next wish is something I call crash seats. So I don't really like the idea that you are able to drive right through buildings or other aircraft, even online on VATSIM. So imagine that each aircraft had a little teeny-weeny kind of part of code that would make it so that if you got into contact within, let's say you're within 1 meter or 2 meter of that, I don't know how you could do it, but I'm sure you could do it, so that would immediately crash you. And the same with buildings actually, but I do know from reliable sources that if aircraft or buildings were to be made to solid objects, it would kill your FPS, basic as that. So that's the reason why it's so, but still it would be pretty darn cool. And I hope that could be implemented. That would make you even more careful when taxiing on VATSIM and what have you not. You really have to look out, right? Because it really matters if you hit someone. It doesn't just look wrong or have your ATC controller yell at you. You really have to take care of what you're doing. So that's my second wish. I have a big list, so I'm going to hurry on. The next thing is I would like Laminar Research to look at the crosswind component when ground handling large jets. I do know that is a very how should I say, heated debate. People have opinions on that. I think it's a bit over-exaggerated in X-Plane 11, and landing in more than 25 knots crosswind, and it's really difficult, especially the ground handling part. I do know it's almost realistic. You really have to work the rudder in reality, but still it is a bit too exaggerated, and because of that little bit of exaggeration really ruins it a bit for me. It really is like a splinter. And it would be so easy to fix, I think, for the right people to code that and fix that, because I do think it's a bit exaggerated. You are not able to stay on the runway, no way, in more than 30 knots. And you have even more videos online proving that. You have the flight deck to sim guide trying to do a, I believe it was 30 knots crosswind, and it wasn't really possible, right? It was blown off the runway. And of course it's not like that in real life, other we would have a lot more incidents than we do. So I would love to see them have a look at that. Also I would love to see area-specific housing autogen, so that when I fly from Scandinavia to the Mediterranean, I would like to see the housing types change, so you get those Mediterranean houses. Or if I go to the Middle East, I would see the more compound style houses and so on. Also that's maybe more of a scenery developers regime, and I would gladly pay money for it. If some scenery developer would make a housing autogen for the world, I would gladly pay up to $50 perhaps for it. I would really be interested in stuff like that, and I know a lot of people would, so I hope to see that come. That's not impossible to make. Next thing, seasons. I would love to see snow on the ground here in Norway in the winter. I have no idea how it could work with all the XP and all of that. I'm quite sure it's completely impossible. So I'll just leave that there. It's still a wish. Still would love to see that, the weather change on the ground. I would like to have more interaction with the cabin and cockpit while in flight. Also, this has nothing to do with flight, and maybe it's more of a add-on or plug-in. I would like to have maybe the cabin call me up, say, hey, we have this guy, he's sick, you have to divert, and I'm on my way to Ibiza from London. I will have to divert to Paris, and then maybe 20 minutes later, while I'm frantically working with my charge, talking to ATC in Paris, they'll come back, there's a doctor on board, he checked the passenger, he's okay, he can make it the rest of the journey, and you don't have to divert anyway. Or you have to divert, or you have orderly passengers fighting or stuff like that, that maybe is on a random generator, just like failures, stuff like that that will just throw you off, and add that extra component to the immersion. I'd love to see that. And yeah, stuff like that. So next on the list, let me look. Longer draw radius on night lighting and cloud. I want that. Especially the night lighting. It's so immersion breaking to see those blocks of lighting that just pops into reality and don't really load. I would like to see the lighting fade off into the distance. I know that's an issue in 2D as well as in VR, and I really hope that we'll see a fix for that, as well as the ring of clouds. Now the ring of clouds isn't that bad, because at least for the way I have my sim set up, they're kind of hidden and obscured behind the clouds just building down, so it doesn't look that bad, but still it's an issue. I hope it will be addressed in future updates. Last thing, I would like them to completely skip the ATC, just drop the default ATC completely. We don't need it, it sucks, and have people focus on real world flying, real world ATC on VATSIM and other networks. It's so much better, so much more fun and much more immersion giving. And the more people we can get to those networks, the better it is. So try to make that even better. Maybe real time. I would love to see real time stuff happening online on VATSIM. So if the guy in front of me, he puts out flaps 5, instantly boom, you'll see the flaps go down. And the same with the lights and engine spinning, spinning down or spooling down. Also sounds, of course, for multiplayer jets, and if you could somehow make it so that you could upload the livery skin that you have in some sort of format. I don't know how they would do it, and then you have this livery package that you could regularly update. So I know a lot of people have been watching Flight Deck to Sim. Of course, he has his own livery. I know that other YouTubers has their own livery. They could upload that to this database that would get updated, so that if a guy comes with that skin on my session, I would see that skin. That would be awesome as well, and make it even more vibrant and variant. And I don't have the words, but it would be cool. Last thing, better clouds. We all want better clouds. That's a hunt that never ends. Better CB clouds and stuff like that really work on the weather. I love my weather. I love flying in weather. I don't know you do as well. And I know, again, this list is just utterly impossible. Will kill your FPS if it's not impossible. So, and not a priority, because a lot of that is not aviation related really. So, but it's all about the geekiness in simming. So that's my list, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I would love to see what your ideas and Christmas wishes for Laminar research or plugin developers would be. So put it in the comments below, and thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share. Really helps and supports me to build the channel. Now I'll get back into the cockpit and prepare a flight to London, I think. So bye bye.